There's never a dull moment in my life. So check this out. Me and my wife, we just left and went to Ashland City. We went to the ranch, check on it. Went to Tractor Supply. I got some shirts and whatever. Left there, going back through Ashland City. We always make a loop around River Bluff before we head back over the river. Okay? Well, so we pull into River Bluff. We're driving, and we see this guy like arguing with the cops or something. Two guys. I think one of them had their shirt off. And before we could drive by him, this guy yelled Upchurch. And I was like, what the f***? So we kept driving, obviously, because, you know, some crazy drunk dude. And we got our daughter in the back. So we kept driving. There's two more cops. We pass by them. We make the loop. We come back. I stop and ask the first two cops about the farmer's market or whatever. Because me and Beth, every chance we get, we try to go to the farmer's market. And then we're finna drive by the other two cops going out. And then this dude, they ain't got no shirt on, the drunk dude or whatever. He's like, Upchurch, I need to holler at you. And I said, nope, out the window. He said, well, f*** you then. And I kept driving. I stopped at the other two cops on the way out. I said, who the f*** was that? He said, oh, some guy thinks he's your cousin. I was like, are you serious? He said, yeah. I was like, yeah, f*** this, I'm getting out of here. And we left. Dude, but my wife made me realize something. She said, how did that guy know it was you before we could even pass by for him to look in and see it was you? I said, actually, that's a good question. I don't know. Well, we know how he knew, I think. The M on GMC has been missing for 3 weeks, and we don't know how. I mean, you have to pull it out. That's how he knew it was me. And don't forget, because these weird motherfuckers out here, remember the whole thing with the zip ties on the door handles? Well, all that is somebody marking your vehicle. Like the zip tie thing. Look that up. Zip ties on door handles. Look that up. I'm not saying this dude was in the cartel. I'm just saying you got to watch for stuff like that. Because that's somebody marking your car. But there's no way that dude seen it was me before he yelled Upchurch. And I drive a very, very common truck. Like there's probably 300 of them in Ashland City. But mine is the only one that has the M missing. That's how that dude knew it was me. I would really like to know who the f*** that guy was. All right, so check this out. I'm putting up some of my books, right? I collect like old history books and like that. And I'm sitting here going through my books and I see this one. The 12th of August. And it caught my eye because 12th is spelled different. I'm looking through it and I'm like, oh, okay. This is the story of Buford Puffer, right? And I flipped the page and I was like, oh, that's interesting. On the 12th day of August, they shot Buford and his wife. On the 12th day of August, darling Pauline lost her life. And it shows this song. I went and listened to that a minute ago from 3 Star Records. I'm going to close the book. And I was like, wait a minute, dude, it's signed by him. Not only is it signed by him, this was his sister, Linda Davis's book. Signed by her brother, Buford Puffer. Dude, insane. Also, check out this. This is number 32 of 100, signed and numbered by Tootsie and artist. That's cool. You know what I want to know? Phil Williams, how do you know that's not true? I'm just curious, how do you know that for a fact? Well, who's to say her claims are false claims? I mean, just 2 months ago, I had to call the Cheatham County Sheriff's Department to come escort a guy from Maricopa, Arizona off my property because his first day was his last day. Because I found out he was from Maricopa, Arizona, and I went and checked on his Facebook shit and found some weird comments. You know, mother can't handle the truth. People want to be extra all the time and all this other bullshit. But I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't give a f*** if it's the citizens or the police that is if you're selling, or hell, even if you're waiting. I just don't give a f***, don't care. Go and look the other way. But when it comes to child, Bro, everybody should be fighting child. We should be allowed to have them motherfuckers in the streets, feed them to alligators, whatever the we should be able to get rid of them. There should be a hunting season for them. You know, I find it very odd. I've been doing a study, I guess you could say, for the past 6 months on cell phones in a certain area downtown. And it seems that inside these bars, there's these location jammers or something where you just cannot share your location. And I've filmed, me and a lot of other people have been filming the activity and how you can share a location and how it will jam that motherfucker and shut it off no matter what. What is that all about? Sounds like something Apple needs to fix. What's up with that? Drinking and partying, you have to have your location on, man. So look at that. You got tourists, ton of women, drinking, and then something jamming the cell phones to where you can't see the location. Does that sound good to you? It don't. That's a problem that we should not have, okay? If we're sending satellites to Mars and you can't surveil Broadway, something's wrong. Let this cell phone jamming thing keep on going. I take my rich ass and I goddamn spend $5 million and I'll hire a bunch of people to dress like tourists and just walk around downtown and surveil shit for the next 2 years so we can find out what's going on.